Enemy Vanguard unit recommendation. Today we have units from Sons of Calydon. First up we have Bernice White, an exclusive fire DPS unit. Also, I just checked and I realized that most exclusive unit only has 2 passive, but with only Toji being an exclusive unit with 3 passive, but it's whatever, they can change it. So let's move on. We have Fire Kindling. On attack, inflict burn for 30% of this unit damage, and then inflict afterburn. Afterburn, whenever an ally attack an enemy inflicted with afterburn, they will trigger an instant of burn based on 60% of this unit damage. Only can happen 8 times. Additionally, whenever burn happen in her range, she will extend that burn by 3 seconds. And then we have Mixed Flame Ban. Whenever this unit first applied an afterburn to an enemy, follow up with an attack, triggering an afterburn effect once. So she will trigger an instance of burn for 60% of her damage to the enemy. And then lastly, anytime an afterburn expired in this unit range, she will follow up with a double flamethrower attack for 3 seconds. A DPS, sub DPS and support all in one. Very interesting to see. Next, we have Luciana de Montefiore, a fire support mythic unit. She will, on placement, she will have an ability immediately. Using it will give ally 600 attack flat bonus, which will last for 50 seconds with a 50-second cooldown. So 100% uptime. I think it's fair because it's only 600, nothing too crazy. And then the last passive, Crimson Vanguard. Every third upgrade, this unit will gain 1 guard ball up to a maximum of 3. The guard ball will inherit Luciana attack, SPA, crit rate, and crit damage. Additionally, whenever the passive from her ability, the buff from her ability is active, the guard ball will receive 20% SPA buff. So to make it up for the lack of buff she provide on her first passive, I think the second passive will be useful overall. Next, we have Lighter, a secret support fire unit. So first passive, Accelerant. This unit has a meter, recover 2.9 meter each second, and anytime this unit attack, recover 0.26 meter. When meter are 80 or full, this unit will perform an attack. No, whenever meter are 80 or full, whenever this unit perform an attack, he will follow up with an attack, and then after that follow up, immediately do a rush attack, and then enter a buff, which is moral burst state, and then inflict the enemy with Brittle. Brittle will debuff the enemy, making the enemy take 50% more damage from fire and water allies for 30 seconds. And then on attack, this unit will always stun enemy for 3 seconds, and whenever this unit use a rush attack, extend stun duration for 3 seconds. And then we have Fighting Spirit. When rush attack hits an enemy with its full duration, maybe 2.5 seconds, let's say, he will buff all fire and water allies in range by 75% damage. And then Champion, when an enemy attack this unit, parry that attack and follow up with a rush attack, 50 second cooldown. Considering he's in Zenless, he's a stun agent, I think giving him the parry as for the last passive is fine, because the whole purpose of stun agent is to stun the enemy as fast as possible. So yeah, makes sense, at least to me. Next, we have the all favorite Caesar King, passion support mythic unit. Very gimmicky, very situational. Why? Because that's really passive. Barrier of resilience. Anytime an enemy attack this unit or allies in range, she will block the attack and do a follow-up and also give allies in range shield. Her version of shield is that shielded allies will be immune to status effect and also gain 1000 attack flat bonus for 90 seconds. So if an enemy attack a shielded ally, the shield will be expired, but the buff will remain for an additional 5 seconds. And then battle spirit, whenever this unit gives shield, enemies take 25% more damage from all source based on 70% of this unit range. 70% range might not be too crazy because 70% is a lot. So whatever. And then we have Pulchra Felini, a passion support mythic unit. Rending Claw, on attack, stuns enemy for 3 seconds. This unit has a stock. Whenever ally use an ability, gain 6 stocks and replace basic attack with follow-up, as well as turning her SPA to 1 second. Each follow-up done by her will extend stun duration by 1 second. I think that's fair. I'm just not sure how to properly give her stocks, so I just decided to make her gain stock whenever an ally use an ability. Considering we have Luciana with 50% cooldown, I think that's fair, maybe. Business partner, whenever this unit attack, inflict binding trap to the enemy. Enemies with binding trap will take 30% more damage from any kind of follow-up for 50 seconds. Could be very good with Makima, let's say, because Makima does a lot of follow-up. And maybe Acheron, but who knows. And then lastly, we have Piper Wheel, Holy DPS mythic unit. This unit has an energy meter and an active. So the way you use her active is you need to hold it down, and she will do a spin attack while consuming the energy bar per second. Whenever she uses the spin attack, she will gain 1 stack of power up to 20, and every stack of power will increase her assault damage by 4 seconds. So which is 40. Yeah, 40. So up to 40%. On attack, she will inflict assault based on 150 of this unit damage and then refill energy. I think that's fair. On attack, normally. Sing acceleration, when this unit has 20 stacks of power, buff self and ally units by 80% damage. Quite underwhelming if I say so, but this is the best that I could do for her. When I make this kind of transfer, from Zenless to AV, I did not, for example, Bernice, I did not use her potential upgrade like in the past. Soldier 11, I actually put some potential upgrade to her, so that might be unfair. But for Bernice, I did not use her potential upgrade. As well as for A ranks in the Zenless, and here I did not use the Mindscape Cinema. I just used this is just M0. Yeah, for her and her M0, or S could be, since they are A rank, getting them M6 is easy. So it could be better if I use them as M6 instead of M0, but I don't know. Like for example, M6 Pulchra, her passive of business partner, instead of follow up only, the enemy would take 30% more damage from any source, any kind of source, DOT, raw damage, nuke, whatever. But because this is M0, the enemy will only take 30% more damage from follow-up only. So yeah, I felt like I had to point that out. But yeah, that's the end of the video, and thank you for watching.